What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's me at HEAD, back with you for another video. That's right. Another video live here on the Wrestlemania channel. And yeah, I just finished watching WWE Fastline 2016. A good pay-per-view, to be honest. Not the best pay-per-view I've seen, but it was good. I enjoyed it. I had no qualms with it. The only qualm I had with it was very predictable. Very predictable. But, you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. That's what WWE, I mean, you could see this a mile away, ladies and gentlemen, of what was going to happen. I mean, we're on the road to the biggest show in WWE's calendar year. And like I say, you could see it 10 times a mile away of what was going to happen. Kalisto is still your U.S. heavyweight champion and beating Alberto Del Rio on the pre-show. Never saw the pre-show. Don't watch the pre-show. At the end of the day, the pre-show is just there to try and make you either A, subscribe to the WWE Network, or B, buy the pay-per-view. I do not like the pre-show. I just want to concentrate on the pay-per-view. To be honest, the US title should never even been on the pre-show. I mean, with all due respect to Edge and Christian, and I know they were on the show to promote their show after that takes place, as I do this right now on the WWE Network, quite frankly, that should have been on the pre-show. You know, they should do things like that on the pre-show and make matches like the US title, you know, keep them matches for the big pay-per-view. That's just my opinion on that. But the fact that the US title was on the pre-show, not good, in my opinion. But Kalisto won. You know, Del Rio causes a disqualification for the first fall. Kalisto wins the first fall out of that. Then Del Rio gets the second fall with that double stomp, and then Kalisto manages to get the third fall rather. Salida de Sol, which he turns it into a roll up, and Kalisto is still your US champion. The pay-per-view kicked off with Banks and Becky Lynch, two members of the Four Horsewomen, if you keep it score at home, that is. And they went up against the remaining two members of Team Bad, Tamina and Naomi. And this was a decent tag match. A decent tag match it was. A very decent tag match. Mostly dominated in a way by Team Bad. But, or the remaining Team Bad members, I should say. But Banks, like I predicted on a certain other thing, Banks gets the bank statement. Becky locked in her arm. And manages to get the victory. And Becky and Sasha, who don't get along, but they can coexist when it comes to wanting to win. Because like Banks said on their SmackDown, I don't like to lose. And that leaves the door open now. I'll get to the Charlotte and Brie Bella match now because Charlotte retained. Brie Bella, I knew Brie wasn't going to win this anyway because there's also talk and there's also announced that Brie is leaving the WWE. I mentioned this on my podcast. Check that out. It's out at 9 o'clock UK time. 9 o'clock UK time, 4 o'clock Eastern time. Tomorrow. Check it out. Also, yeah, it leaves the door open now that Charlotte's retained the championship. Maybe this can now leave the door open now for a triple threat match for the Divas title at WrestleMania. Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Charlotte. Guess we'll have to wait and see on that one. Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental title. Another good match between these two. This past month, these guys have been having series of good matches, whether it was on Raw or the pay-per-views. And Owens manages to get the victory, pop-up powerbomb, and is still your Intercontinental champion, which leads to Chris Jericho and AJ Styles. Match of the night, in my opinion. Although there is a case for the triple threat match as well to be match of the night. I'll get to that in a second. Chris Jericho, great wrestling match between him and AJ Styles. Just a phenomenal match. I mean, 2 matches they had on SmackDown and Raw culminates with this one at Fastlane. I loved it. I wouldn't mind seeing these two go again, but it's not going to happen. But now that AJ Styles has won this match and cemented his place in the WWE, our WWE fans, apologies for that if you heard it, our WWE fans are going to get their wish. Kevin Owens, AJ Styles at WrestleMania in a Intercontinental Championship. I would probably say it's too early for AJ Styles to go down that route with Kevin Owens. But then again, I'm not going to complain, am I? The Wyatts lost their match to Big Show, Kane, and Ryback, which was stupid in my opinion. Well, the Wyatts should have won that match up, to be honest with you. I disagree with the outcome of that match. But I suppose it was going to come anyway because it's their revenge, basically. But I disagree. The Wyatt should have won that match. And what I find amazing is the fact that Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family did not even interfere in the match to set up a match between Bray Wyatt and Brock Lesnar for WrestleMania. More on the triple threat in a second. But yeah, I mean, I disagree with that outcome of that match, to be honest. Again, just my opinion. But you could probably see it was going to happen eventually. You know, I mean, what makes me sick about the Wyatt family at the moment, or the WWE involving the Wyatt family, is they always seem to build them up to pay-per-views, and then when it comes to the pay-per-view matches, they never have them win. That makes no sense to me. Cutting Edge Peep Show was, with the New Day, was solemnly interrupted, and in a way, despite the fact that Edge and Christian and the New Day went back and forth with each other, they had a mutual agreement that they did not like the League of Nations because it was interrupted by the League of Nations. You know, New Day shooting their mouth off about the League of Nations, and then Edge and Christian and the New Day, in a way, get the last word on that. And then there was a fill-in match between Curtis Axel and R-Truth, which Curtis Axel won, Social Outcasts, and this thing between R-Truth and Goldust doesn't seem to be working because Goldust is that bothered about, you know, wanting to be the tag team partner of R-Truth. But R-Truth's not buying it, man. I think the best bet is for Goldust to just quit and give up because it ain't going to work. I mean, Goldust and R-Truth is more like Booker T and Goldust back in the day, in my opinion. The triple threat match, again, predictable. Roman Reigns wins it. Roman Reigns goes on to WrestleMania. Roman Reigns will face Triple H for the World Championship. Yeah, Roman Reigns will go on to WrestleMania. And he will face Triple H after a grueling candidate for match of the night, because I actually enjoyed this triple threat match. Brock Lesnar, the Beast, proving that he is a beast after being put through the announce table on 2 occasions. You know, Dean Ambrose wanting to be the #1 guy to go to WrestleMania to face Triple H. You know, using a chair, using whatever it takes, doing whatever it takes to get that shot. I mean, it was a good match, man. Good triple threat match, which eventually saw Dean Ambrose whacking after Brock Lesnar got Dean Ambrose in a Kimura lock. Not Dean Ambrose. Roman Reigns in a Kimura lock. Dean Ambrose comes in, hits Lesnar with a chair, hits him again with a chair, and then proceeds to unload on his brother. Gets rid of Lesnar, but it takes a chair shot to Lesnar, and then Lesnar rolls out the ring. Dean Ambrose looks at Lesnar, turns around and takes a spear, and Roman Reigns is your #1 contender for the World Heavyweight title. Then Triple H comes out and they pose as Fastlane went off the air, pose with the belt in hand, and then the WrestleMania sign in the background, which was kind of predictable, really. All in all, good show. 4 out of 5 for Fastlane. To be honest with you, if I'm saying it out of 5, and out of 10, I'm going to give it a solid 8 because I actually liked it. You know, like I said, the only problem I had with it was too predictable. But all in all, it was a good show. Now, before I go, I want to talk about The Undertaker because I've heard a lot of rumors that Braun Strowman isn't going to be facing The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar was also a candidate to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania. That ain't going to happen. Kevin Owens was on that list to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania. He's off the list. Hell, John Cena was the guy that was going to do it until he got injured. So where does that leave The Undertaker now for WrestleMania? Well, I've heard a lot of rumors that John Cena may face The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And I doubt it'll happen. But it may happen at WrestleMania. Braun Strowman match could still possibly take place. But there's also talk about them bringing somebody in from outside the WWE and also maybe from NXT. There's a possible chance from NXT. This is what I've read. So if that's the case, then why not bring up Finn Balor and have him face The Undertaker at WrestleMania? I wouldn't mind saying that. I wouldn't be complaining. But the thing is, the main talking point of this is if it's going to be somebody, if it's not going to be the guys that I mentioned or anybody from NXT, it's going to be somebody from outside, this leads to one thing. Just do the Sting match. Sting versus Undertaker at this year's WrestleMania. Sting's going in the Hall of Fame. You may never get an opportunity to do this again at this year's WrestleMania in Dallas. Undertaker versus Sting. Would this be a clusterfuck? Yeah, probably would. Then again, it might not. But Undertaker and Sting, if you're not going to put John Cena in there, if you're not even going to put Braun Strowman in there, which, to be honest with you, would be the best decision you will ever make in your life, let's do it. Let's just have the match. Sting versus Undertaker. Let's get it over with. You know, and at least you can say you've done it. At least you can say you tried it. And if it fails, it fails. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know, hooray. I mean, surely it couldn't be the worst match in WWE's history. I mean, the worst WrestleMania match in WWE's history was Brock Lesnar and Goldberg at WrestleMania 20. That's my opinion. But, yeah, let's just get this match over with. Because if you're not going to do it now, you never will. You know, you never will do it ever. And this is the great chance that you guys will have, the WWE will have, to face The Undertaker, to have The Undertaker and Sting at WrestleMania. Because if it's not going to happen this year, I mean, all right, when Brock beat him to end the streak, I specifically said on Sunday Segue that that's the end of The Undertaker and Sting, but there's opportunity to have it this year. And if you're not going to have it this year, you're not going to have it at all. It's as simple as that. You're not going to have it this year, you're not going to have it at all. And this could maybe your one and only shot to think, okay, we can have this match. Let's have this match. Let's get it over with. You know, let's just do it, get it over with, put it to bed. And if you're not going to have it now, you never will. But this is a great opportunity to have the Undertaker versus Sting match. Like I say, would it be a clusterfuck? Probably. Won't be the worst match. I mean, I'd take Undertaker and Sting over Undertaker and Braun Strowman any day of the week. I mean, the thought of Braun Strowman possibly facing Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam scares the shit out of me. I mean, that's not good for Brock. I mean, it'd be good for Brock in a way because you get to bounce around Braun Strowman, and it'd be good for the people in a way because they get to see Brock Lesnar bounce around Braun Strowman. But I'd take an Undertaker Sting over Undertaker Braun Strowman any day of the week if you're not going to have John Cena in there. That's just my opinion on that. You know, if you're not going to have it now, you never will. And I say, let's just do it. Let's get it over with. Sting's going in the Hall of Fame anyway. So let's just do it and get it over with. Right. That about wraps this video up, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch. Like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Look out for my Raw review this week as well. And look out for the Wrestling Matters podcast, which again goes out tomorrow or tonight, as this is out in England because it's the early hours in the morning. It takes place at 9 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. Eastern on the Swerve Network, youtube.com/AJW Wrestling Matters. This very YouTube channel you're watching. And if you want more on the YouTube channel and want more wrestling content, the only way you'll get to see that is if you subscribe to the Wrestling Matters channel. Weekly content, maybe daily, depending on what I've got for you. But wrestling content is on here. Weekly podcasts. 100th episode is next week, 1 week from today. And I've got a promo lined up for that. And the only way you'll get to see that promo is if you the only way you'll get to see that promo is if you check out and subscribe to this channel. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to David Anderson from the Mystery Island crew, my partners that I work with, and I put them over on my podcast because I put them over on my podcast when I could, to the best that I could, and look what I got for it right here. This is what came in the mail yesterday. A signed photo of Rockstar Spud right there. What a legend. And a signed photo of former WWE superstar Carlito, the man who spits in the face of people who don't want to be cool. So shout out to the Mystery Island. Shout out to David Anderson. Thank you so much. Plenty more of these, please. You know where it's at. And that about wraps this up, guys. Until next time, thank you so much for watching or even taking the time to watch. My name is Anthony Walker, bidding you a fond farewell. Enjoy the rest of the evening or whatever it is you are doing, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.